This is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
Watch. Okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
Welcome everyone to the Smack Raw podcast Extreme Rules recap show. I'm your host SES Vince, and joined together right here with my main guy Kevin Crazy 316. How's it going, Kevin? How you doing, man?
Yo, I'm doing pretty good. Enjoyed the pay-per-view more than I thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
Life's good.
All around, it was a really good time. The pay-per-view didn't drag on. I felt like a lot of the matches were really good. There was a lot of good stuff there. There was a couple weird stuff in there, but it's WWE. You expect that. Before we get into the recap, just want to remind you guys, if you're watching us on youtube.com/SmackRaw podcast, to go ahead and give us a subscribe. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Turn on the noties so you know when a brand new episode drops, just like our recap right now, which will be up by Monday morning if you're watching the live stream right now. Go ahead and find us wherever you consume all your audio podcasts, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whichever it is. Give us a download. It helps the show greatly. And of course, we are found on WrestlingNewsWorld.com because we are their exclusive wrestling recap podcast. Kevin, dude, I'm excited for this recap show in general, just because I think the first time we've been able to do a show together, just the two of us, since my debut on the podcast with our Clash of Champions predictions over a year ago.
I think you're right. Just the two of us, because the last time I was on a show with you, that was just we did the.
It was in your
NXT.
house. Yeah, it was Takeover in your house, man.
Yep.
No, man, I'm excited for this show. I was really geeked and excited to find out that I was going to be able to do the show with you, man. Dude, like I said, I started in the podcast with you, and you never forget your first, man. And I don't forget about you.
Oh, thanks, man.
So, no problem, man. No problem. So let's get into the recap. Normally we don't do this, but because it was so good, let's start off with the kickoff show, man. We had Kevin Owens versus Buddy Murphy. That was announced, I think, last minute earlier on in the day. What you thought about it? It was a banger of a match, right?
Yeah, it was especially for pre-show kickoff, whatever. It was really good. Kevin Owens is one of my favorites right now, and with all the storylines that are going on with Murphy and stuff, with Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, and Aleister Black. Yeah, I love keeping Owens kind of simmering there with all that stuff too. So I thought that was cool.
For sure.
Honestly, those guys can work like crazy. Both of those dudes,
Dude, Murphy, in general, has been going off on Raw ever since he moved out of the Cruiserweight division. He's been going off. On SmackDown, he wasn't used a lot, but now in this role that he is right now, perfect. And I liked how they used this match as a catalyst to, kind of let you know why Buddy Murphy or anyone else wouldn't be involved in the eye for an eye match later on in the show. And it made perfect sense. Kevin Owens gets the win here with the stunner. All around great match. Go ahead and check it out. You can't go wrong with Kevin Owens or Buddy Murphy match, let alone together. Great pairing by them too. For sure. But the show actually kicked off with the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, which was a tables match. The New Day defending against the team of Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Do they have an official team name? Or, are they still going by the Artist Collective? Or is that scrapped because Sammy isn't around?
I think that might be scrapped because Sammy's not around, but I'm not sure about that. I haven't heard him call them that since Sammy's been gone, honestly. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know for sure. So,
regardless though, dude, this match was so good.
it was awesome.
And commentary alluded to this. Cesaro in his past tag teams has had great chemistry with the New Day. And if you go back and watch the New Day or listen to the New Day podcast, after you listen to the SmackDown podcast, of course, they've alluded to Cesaro being one of the favorite people they like to work with, whether he was with Tyson Kidd or with Sheamus, or even before that with Jake Hager as Jack Swagger. I'm sorry, I always butcher people's names when I'm trying to think. Should I call them by their WWE name or their AEW name? I'm not really sure with that, but great chemistry here. I thought the match was amazing. I love the
yeah.
springboard spot where they Biggie launches Kofi into the outside to attack Shinsuke and Cesaro, but they move the table to smack him right in the face. Hilarious, man. Straight out of Looney Tunes, bro.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought. Like perfect for Kofi Kingston to sell the shit out of some goofy move like that, man.
Besides that spot, and obviously the finish, was there any other spot that you really enjoyed or thought was like, man, that was so good?
No, I mean the whole match was freaking great, but nothing specifically from the match. I don't know if did you catch the whole kickoff show, pre-show?
No, I did not, but I did hear
Okay.
in the chat that you said that Devon Dudley jumped in with them.
Yeah. So, in the pre-show, New Day, they were, just hyping the match, doing an interview. I think it was with Kayla Braxton, and they were like, "Yeah, we had to train different for this match, and we had to get one of the best." And then they bring out Devon Dudley, and he just kind of gassing him up and shit. It was just cool because goddamn Dudley brothers, what's better than them?
Yeah, for sure. So I thought that was really good, and dude, to be honest, it makes sense for the finish of this match. I loved it. So they stacked up the tables. Kofi Kingston did, and immediately I thought, oh well, this is it. This is gonna be a cool spot. But Cesaro fights off. Shinsuke helps him out. Eventually, though, it does end up being Kofi Kingston that goes through the double stacked table after he goes to attempt a Hurricane Rana, gets stopped by Cesaro because he's just all muscle and all man, and then stops him kind of does a straight jacket powerbomb, powers him through the goddamn stacked tables. It looked vicious. It looked nasty. Kofi sold the fuck out of it. It looked like he was so comfortable afterwards he took a nap. And then we had a new SmackDown Tag Team Champions since Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. And I think it's honestly proven at this point, if you're in the tag team with Cesaro, you're going to win the Tag Team Championship at one point. I mean,
I guess, yeah.
I mean, did he win one with the Real Americans? I can't remember.
I don't know.
But, dude, honestly, get into a tag team with Cesaro, you're probably going to get a tag team championship out of the whole run. Overall, I thought this was a great way to open up the show. It was very fast-paced, exciting, a lot of fun spots. And there were a couple table spots where they teased oh, this could be the finish. This could not be the finish. So it was really, really good. Oh,
yeah. I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, Jesus, you're right. The ending spot was vicious. It was awesome, So, to your point, I mean, Cesaro, is he maybe the best tag team wrestler without a tag team? You know what I'm saying?
He could probably win the tag team title with Hornswoggle or something. That's how much.
Yeah, no shit.
Before we move on to the second match, I'm gonna pay attention to the chat because it looks like it's blowing up a little bit. Kyle's is anyone else here? Kobe from Wrestling News World is in the chat with eyeball emojis. Get your podcast, yo, what's it going, guys?
Yo.
How's it going? Loyalty J is in here. How's it going, Jay? Good to see you back here. Loyalty J actually shouts you out specifically. Kevin says, Kevin crazy, baby. Kyle says he really dug the swamp match. We will talk about it. Getcho is asking, will Cesaro ever win a singles title, or has it all been tag belts? I think he won the U.S. title for sure, if I'm not mistaken, in his initial run. Going forward, I'd like to see him actually get the world title. I don't think it's too late for that, man.
No, I don't think so either.
I
think he could totally be a singles guy.
For sure.
100%.
Let's see. They're talking about the chat's talking about the swamp fight. They're comparing it to the Firefly Funhouse match. How Kyle said that it left them wanting more, and I agreed. I felt like this match left us wanting more as well. Kyle's like, Kofi's dead. Getcho, he's been United States champion. The theory is whoever sets it up is the one that's most likely to go through it. That's Loyalty J talking about the table spot. Yeah, that's usually it. I feel like
that makes sense.
I feel like that makes sense with just about every kind of Extreme Rules matches or anything like that, because last night at Slammiversary, Tommy Dreamer busted out the thumbtacks and he ended up going through the thumbtacks.
Oh, Tommy Dreamer. I didn't know he was still going at it. Holy shit.
He's still a thing, man. He's still a thing. Let's see here. Let's see. Get your podcast, bro. I went to those wrestling girls watch along. It was cool, but too many people. Kobe is like Cesaro with a world title would be horrific. What? Kobe, stop.
What?
Kobe,
Get out of
Kobe,
here.
Kobe.
That gets yeeted.
Oh,
We're not even on unpopular.
Yeah. Standing streamer, how's it going, my man? He says Cesaro with Heyman wouldn't be horrible though. We did see that it didn't last long, so we had a short stint there. So after he actually won the Andre Battle Royal, the initial one, he actually cut ties with Zeb Coulter and became a Paul Heyman guy. But they never actually followed through with it. He kind of like just separated from Paul Heyman, and nothing ever really came of it.
So they just kind of threw it away.
Yeah, kind of threw it away, and
it.
they kind of left us wanting that Cesaro versus Brock Lesnar match, which we never got. But yeah, let's move on to the second match. We had the SmackDown Women's Title match between the champion Bayley and the challenger Nikki Cross. There was a couple hints of Crazy Nikki in this match, especially the one where Bayley gets her like wrapped with the apron. Bayley gets distracted talking to commentary. She goes underneath the ring and goes on the other side and just tweaks out Bayley and then goes full blown psycho for like a couple seconds, man. I like this match because I felt like it's starting to set up maybe Nikki Cross going back to Crazy Nikki like she was in NXT.
I could see that. I think the biggest takeaway from me from this match is that Nikki Cross is probably going to be a future champion.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest takeaway for me. And yeah, I agree that I think Crazy Nikki is that's at least going to be like a facet of her gimmick at some point. You know, maybe it won't be. Maybe even something along the lines of like Finn Balor and the Demon, you know, but maybe a little more fluid than that. But that kind of an idea.
So I don't remember where I saw this comparison. I don't even know if it was RN that made this comparison, but they were kind of comparing Nikki to like the Three Faces of Foley because a couple weeks back.
That was Kyle.
That was Kyle? Okay, if that was Kyle, sure. Kyle, let me know if that was you in the chat. Because a couple weeks back, Nikki Cross was saying that the reason why she's able to be like more like charming and like cutesy or whatever is because of Alexa, but when Alexa's not around she goes back to like Crazy Nikki. So maybe she gets frustrated with herself because especially after that promo she delivered on SmackDown on Friday. So I feel like this could tease into her turning heel, turning on Alexa, and now we have a match that we've been wanting to see for a minute there, and it's the roles reverse of what we initially thought it was going to be. We were assuming there was going to be Alexa turning on Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross going heel might be the best thing for her right now.
It would definitely be shocking. That's for sure. Because she's pretty over, you know, right now. So,
yeah, for sure.
But I could totally see it. It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm all for that. But you know what wasn't shocking was the result of this match. Bayley. Overall, I'm not trying to undersell the match because it was really good. It was solid.
Yeah.
3 really good matches to start things off. Really, really good stuff there. But Bayley was in trouble, right? So then Sasha Banks goes ahead and tosses and hands her boss brass ring / knuckles or whatever, and proceeds to go and distract the ref. That brings out Alexa Bliss to go on the apron as well. And as the ref is distracted, Bayley goes ahead and strikes Nikki in the gut with the brass rings, hits her finisher, which, again, I love Bayley, but that finisher is trash. It's terrible. It's the fucking worst. Go back to the Bayley to belly, or just go back to that.
Didn't she did a Bayley to belly tonight, didn't she, at one point, outside of the ring?
I think so. Yeah, I think she did. I think
because I remember I could have swore commentary called it out, and I was like, what a dumb move.
Right, exactly. I mean, honestly, I'd prefer that than like honestly, give me anything. Give me just about anything than that. Like, I get it because that used to be her finisher in the Indies, and I get what you're trying to do, but it's like it's not a very smooth transition finisher. It takes too much to set up. So Bayley retains. No surprise here. Like, I like Nikki Cross, but she didn't really seem like a legit threat to get that title off of Bayley.
But like with the ending, to me, you know, with the heel way that they ended it, you know, I mean, Nikki kind of almost had the match won heading out. You know what I'm saying? At least that's the way that I think that we're supposed to believe. You know, obviously. So, you know, who knows? You know, maybe she is, and she got outsmarted.
Yeah, that's true. So moving on from this, we had the Dracula style Firefly Funhouse. I thought that was just kind of charming. It was pretty. It was funny. You saw it, right? Like, what you think of it, man?
Maybe I'm.
Did you miss it? Did you miss it? Oh, you missed it. No, you wouldn't remember that. You totally missed it. So they go and like kind of do like maybe like a 70s or like 60s horror movie vibe with the black and white and like the picture like it's very scratchy, and then it's like Bray Wyatt with like a Dracula like cape on. He's trying to be very menacing. It's like, oh, look at the horrendous thing that happened last week, and they cut to like the karaoke segment that they had on SmackDown like a couple weeks back. then they cut back and the Bray's like what are you doing, Rabbit? I know what you're trying to do here. You're not slick. That's not the right clip. You played the wrong clip. He goes back, tries to like get back into character. It was pretty fucking hilarious. It was nice little subtle touch there.
Oh, I think I came in like right at the very end of it because I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like I got up to like go to the bathroom or something, and I heard like the Firefly Funhouse stuff come on. I was like, oh, they're just recapping something, no big deal.
Right.
And I come back in, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. No, you totally missed it, man. You totally missed it. Yeah, but it was good. Just go back and watch it after we're done here. Following that, we had what was supposed to be the U.S. title match between MVP and Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews, because of his injury a month ago at the hands of Bobby Lashley with the full Nelson, wasn't able to compete and defend his championship. So MVP and Bobby Lashley come out, and MVP kind of like claims that due to forfeit, he's the new U.S. champion. He crowns himself. What do you think is going on with Apollo Crews? Do you think he tested positive for Corona or something, or what's going on?
I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking, is maybe something like that was going on. But this is what this is another thing. During the the goddamn kickoff show, they did an interview with MVP and Bobby Lashley, and MVP, had the belt at that time, and he's like talking. Charlie Caruso was the one that interviewed, and he's talking about it, and he's like, "Do you know how much I paid for this belt or something?" And he won't tell her. And then, after all of that stuff happens and you find out that it's the injury that Bobby Lashley put on him, and he makes some joke. I can't remember what he says to Bobby Lashley in the ring when the match was supposed to happen, but it led me to believe that maybe MVP paid Bobby Lashley to hurt Apollo Crews in order to win the belt.
Right. Okay.
Maybe I'm really fucking reading into it, but that was.
I don't know, man. I missed that whole thing. I have to go back and watch that, man. Like I missed that whole like part you're just talking about. I don't know.
Yeah. No, if you didn't see, if it was on the kickoff show, the pre-show.
Yeah, I did it. I did not catch the kickoff show until like maybe 5 minutes before the Kevin Owens match started, and even when it was going on, I was eating. So I was like, this is when I'm going to get my meal before we go and take notes and do the podcast later. So before we move on, though, guys, we do have a quick little like promotion for a quick little ad for Synergy Pro Wrestling. They are going to have a show coming up on July 25th. So instead of letting me talk about this, why don't I play the clip for you guys?
The summer of Synergy continues with the Garden State Invitational Tournament, live on Fight TV Saturday, July the 25th. M-Dog Matt Cross, Gary J, Myron Reed, Jordan Oliver, Tony Deppen, Gregory Iron, KTB, and Simon Gotch compete for GSI supremacy. Plus, Frightmare defends the Synergy Pro Wrestling Championship against Deshaun Pratt, and Ellis Taylor, Casey Catal, and TJ Crawford collide to find out who will wear the Cruiserweight crown. All on Fight TV, streaming live around the world. Saturday, July the 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern. All this for just $9.99. Who will win the second annual GSI? Tune in live and find out. For more information, log on to synergywrestling.com.
And we're back. So, yeah, guys, that was Synergy's Garden State Invitational on July 25th. Personally, my pick is Myron Reed. I like the guy. I think he should go ahead and win the whole goddamn thing. So go ahead and check that out. But before we go ahead and go back into the recap, because we have 4 matches left, so we're gonna go ahead and check out the chat. D-Rod's in the chat, by the way.
Hey, D-Rod, what's up?
D-Rod's in the chat. Kobe are going back and Kobe, Kyle, everyone's going back and forth about Nikki Cross, whether she's good or not. Let's see. Let's find a good spot.
She's
right
great.
Here. Kobe says everything Bray does is perfect, unlike Cesaro or Nikki. Jesus, Kobe, or anything AEW.
Wow.
Jesus, Kobe, what the fuck? Then D-Rod says preach it. Oh my gosh. Kyle says Leslie Nelson, Dracula, Dead and Loving It. Synergy. They should have put Tom's beautiful voice over that promo, says Colby. Kyle gets a kick out of that. And Kyle says he was good as an announcer. And everybody's agreeing. D-Ross says, "Yo, Kevin." So he's shouting you right back out, man. So yeah, we're gonna go back into the chat after we talk about these next 2 matches. So for next up, eye for an eye match. Between Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio. I had no idea what to expect going into this match, whether it was going to be a singles match. I'm not exactly sure what eye for an eye meant until it was explicitly stated that an eyeball is going to be ripped out of its socket. Regardless of the finish and everything, overall, what are your takes on the match?
I mean, it was the finish was that's a whole different monster. But the match itself, I enjoyed it, honestly. For the most part, I mean, it was Seth Rollins doing Seth Rollins stuff and Rey Mysterio doing Rey Mysterio stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was a solid match. I mean, it wasn't anything I wasn't completely blown away by it, but I was definitely entertained the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I thought the match was the guys in this match were very creative with the weapon spots. There were a lot of really cool, unique offenses, especially the sunset flip power bombs into the plexiglass by Rey Mysterio. I thought that was really, really good. So towards the end, we're just gonna jump towards the end here. Just because there was a lot of action going on here. At one point, they bring out tools. They have a table, spots, chairs, everything. It's just, there was too much to cover. Way more. I feel I had more trouble keeping up with what was going on here than the swamp fight in the main event.
Yeah. No shit.
Which is fucking hilarious to me if you think about it. At one point, I think they brought out a screwdriver, tag ropes, a bunch of different stuff, man. I think Seth Rollins even came out with a wrench or pliers or something when he came.
Yeah, it was pliers. yeah.
Exactly. So
it's crazy.
Towards the end, I thought I popped really hard when Rey Mysterio hit the curb stomp on Seth Rollins and then removes his eye patch.
So did I.
He removes his eye patch that he had on his mask, and you can see he had all white contacts. You can see nothing. It was just literally an eyeball, you could probably a golf ball right in between his fucking eye. I thought that shit looked gnarly.
Honestly, I thought he was gonna win with that spot. I thought that was a wrap.
Dude, especially because after that, Ray goes directly to go shove Seth's eye into the corner of the steel steps, and he actually succeeds in it. So he's got him in the corner of the steps, and then Seth Rollins low blows him from behind. Yeah, and that sealed it for Ray, because after that he didn't recover. Seth goes ahead. He does recover, manages to actually shove Ray's already injured eye into the steps, and it looked nasty. You heard, even before that, Ray was out of it because of the low blow, and he's just trying his best, and he's over here crying, no, please don't. And I'm like, oh shit, that's how you know you got fucked up, when you're over here begging for mercy. So Seth Rollins literally fucked up Rey Mysterio, and figuratively too, literally too, because afterwards, Seth was about to go ahead and hit him one more time, and then he noticed his eyeball was out of his socket, and he's like, disgusting. He's like, ooh, ooh. He goes to the other side. Ray's crying. He's crying in pain. Dominic comes out. The match is over at that point because that's the goal and stipulation for the match. Ray leaves, and I thought it was weird. Seth Rollins won, and then he throws up. I thought that was very weird. I don't. That I felt like kind of like threw the match out for me. Had it just been the eyeball stuff, I would have lived with it. But the throwing up part by Seth Rollins, I'm very queasy when it comes to shit like that. So if someone's throwing up in front of me, I'm gonna just like immediately want to throw up myself. So I was not for that whole spot.
Well, I don't have that issue, but I get it. But it didn't make any goddamn sense anyway. I understand that probably seeing somebody with their eye poked out of their socket is probably, disgusting or whatever. But it just didn't seem necessary. It seemed like really gratuitous and just I don't know, trying to sell like how brutal he was. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, he poked his eye out, man. You don't really have to, sell the brutality of that any more than it already is, Exactly.
I thought initially, I'm like, oh shit, Seth's learning how to do the green mist. He's like slowly learning how to do the green mist because the vomit or whatever was kind of green. I'm like, oh shit, he's been chilling with Asuka for a little bit. He's picking up some things or two. Speaking of Asuka, she's actually next up. She defended her Raw Women's title against Sasha Banks. Before we go into the match, though, quickly, just going to pay attention to the chat real quick. Kobe says Shamrock is greater than Nikki Cross. In 2020, I disagree, Kobe. D-Ross says, wow. Kai Tai says, I'd rather listen to Joyce Ryan new video than read another opinion from Kobe. Jeez, that's harsh, Kyle. That's harsh. Kobe says, I'd rather watch that video than anything Nikki related. Okay, guys, come on. Be nice. Be cool. Just be cool, guys. Just be cool.
They're hating each other in the chat.
They are, man. Shit. They are. We need to have Kobe and Kyle on unpopular wrestling opinions going forward in the future episode for sure.
I guess.
Kobe said I was legit eating when Seth threw up, so there's that. Kai Tai says you deserve that. Kobe says I threw up when Nikki was fighting, so what a coincidence. She belongs on AEW Dark, says Kobe. Damn, jeez, Kobe.
Wow.
Jeez. Okay, going back to the recap now.
Holy shit.
Sasha Banks, Asuka. This is the match I was looking forward to going into it.
Me too.
I don't think it was like 5-star match quality, match of the year quality, but it was a great match with plenty of reversals throughout, very technical and really good selling by both.
I thought it was the match of the night.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than maybe the swamp fight, but that's a different.
I think I just popped more for that than anything else. To be honest with you, I think that's what it was. Is that I just popped for that, and like with Sasha and Asuka, that was the best wrestling match of the card.
But, yeah. I would. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. The finish was very interesting because Asuka gets the Asuka lock on Sasha Banks. It looks like she's about to tap out. Bayley distracts the ref as Sasha Banks is tapping out. So Asuka had the match won.
Yep.
Bayley distracts the ref by tossing in one of the tag titles. She slides in, which it was kind of botched because the ref saw her about to slide in, and then the ref leaves anyway. The ref walks away anyway, and then she goes back in there. So then from there, she distracts the ref. And then Asuka takes out Bayley. She takes out Bayley with a kick. She isn't actually able to interfere in the match. That's when Asuka starts to gain a little bit of an advantage, regain control. She goes to hit Sasha Banks with the green mist. She ducks out of the way, hits the referee instead. The ref is gone. I thought that was just going to be a DQ because normally the mist is illegal. You shouldn't be using it anyways. So the ref is blinded. He has no clue what's going on. Bayley comes in, rips off the ref shirt, puts it on herself. And then as Asuka has Sasha Banks in a precarious situation, hits her with the belt, which also allows Sasha Banks to go for the cover. Sasha counts Bayley. Counts the 1, 2, 3. She forces the bell, the timekeeper, to ring the bell, and Sasha Banks wins? Question mark. What you think here? What you think, Kevin?
I love it, man. I love it. I was like, it was confusing. I mean, I'll give you that. There was a lot going on there, and I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen. Like, you know, with the fallout of the whole situation, you know. But like in the moment, I thought it was brilliant. I was like, hell yeah, man! Like, now you know Sasha and Bailey have all the gold. You know, I love it. I was talking to my girlfriend about it like before the show, and I was like, "Give it to me. Have them get all the gold.
Right.
Milk this Sasha and Bailey hate like a month or two longer, and then have them turn on each other."
Oh, for sure. Me and RN were actually saying that on the prediction show how we want to see them be like the Triple H and Austin, the 2 women power trip, and be like dual champions. And I think that'd be perfect. How annoying will they get? Like even like a month into that reign, so annoying. So now you have to tune into Raw to find out if she really is the official Raw Women's Champion or not. Because WWE, as far as us are recording of this episode, we don't know if she's officially the Raw Women's Champion or not. So we'll find out on Monday, I guess. Next up, WWE title match: Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler. We didn't do the stipulation for this match because it was up to Dolph Ziggler, and he waited until the last final moment, which is smart. I don't know why people don't do that more often. Whenever you get into a situation where, if I win, I pick the stipulation. Don't let your opponent prep for that match. Just go ahead and announce it. Literally announce it seconds before it. And props to Dolph Ziggler. That's exactly what he did. He said this was going to be an Extreme Rules match for him only. Drew still had to wrestle a normal match, and then if he got DQ'd or got counted out, he did lose the title. He would lose the title. So he was heavily handicapped. And throughout the match, Dolph tried to go ahead and take advantage of the stipulation. And for the most part, he was successful in various parts of it. Like at one point, Drew McIntyre almost lost the title by barely breaking the 10 count. Like he barely got to like 8 or 9 at one point. But as
There's
the match,
a couple of those.
Yeah, but as the match progressed, Drew started to adapt and like get better with the match stipulation itself. And he's like, you know what? I can do this. It's actually really good. And he started adapting and learning and getting better as the match went along. That's what makes him such a great champion. And that's what made him look like $1,000,000, because like not only is he a great champion, he looks the part, but also he can adapt and overcome situations. Something you don't see, like they book people like this when you're like a Roman Reigns or a John Cena or like a Becky Lynch, overcoming like obstacle after obstacle. And that just lets you know how highly they think of Drew McIntyre right now.
Yeah, no, and you're totally right. That was the big story of the match for McIntyre, because really early on in the match, when Ziggler had set up a table, McIntyre thought about power bombing him through the table, and he didn't. Right. He looked pissed that he didn't. You know, I mean, commentary called it out, but you know, he was doing little things like that, like throughout the early parts of the match, and then he stopped. You know what I'm saying? Or like there was a part where I think Ziggler was trying to hit him with a chair, and he wrestled it away from him, and then he threatened him with the chair and like threw it down. You know, just little things like that. That just nice little touches. To your point, you know.
My favorite spot of the match was that elbow drop that Dolph hit to the outside and made Drew go through the table. I thought that was my favorite spot of the night.
That was brutal. Yeah,
it was good. Drew does get the win though with the Claymore. Not surprising. It was a really good, solid match, and I'm gonna give Seb a pretty good shout out here. He mentions that Dolph Ziggler in ring, he's probably top 5 guy in the company, but outside his promo work, his character work, 9 times out of 10 he's just yelling and it just doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. It's too bad too, because he is really, really good in ring. Like he has one of the best super kicks probably in WWE right now. Like it's nasty. I love it.
I've been saying it for years that WWE should have stopped people from using the super kick and just give it to Dolph Ziggler. That's way better. Like you give him the super kick, just like have him like Shawn pass the torch in some kind of way. I feel like that makes the best situation for Dolph. But you know they missed the boat on it. They missed the boat on it. Like the super kick, pile drivers. Canadian destroyers, spears, you name them, they're oversaturated at this point.
Oh yeah.
So before we get into the main event, the Swamp Fight, let's take a look at the chat real quick. Kobe says, finally a good women's wrestling match. Kyle's like, is it freezing for anyone else? And yeah, Kyle, I did notice that there was a couple issue there where like my bandwidth wasn't holding off. Kyle's like lashing out because there's literally someone with a legit beard on the show. So Kobe says Kyle's lashing out right now against him because there's someone with a legit beard on the show, alluding to yourself. And then Kyle's like,
yeah, I do.
Kyle
I love my beard.
It's majestic, man. It's great, man. If I could grow a beard, I want a beard too, man. You make me want to have a beard, but my genetics just don't allow for that, you know. Kyle's left the chat, you know. There some more interactions there. Kyle says Sasha win makes more sense than Kobe's opinions. Jesus,
holy shit, Kyle.
Kobe says Nikki is terrible once again. Drew may actually be more boring than Nikki. What the Kobe, take
Kobe, you're blocked.
Look, man, I love you, dog. You're great. I love our interactions on Twitter. You seem like a swell guy, but man, right now you're throwing some very unpopular wrestling opinions over here. Like he's petitioning hard to be on the show. Kyle says, should Vince's fan base be called the Gang Bang Gang or the Demon Artist?
Yes.
He also suggests the Demon Artists because, you know, maybe spread demon art, you know, like little like inside joke there, like with YouTube captioning. Either or, let us know. We'll do a poll, see what people think. Demon Artists or Gang Bang Gang. So
maybe both.
Why not both? Both? So, hold up. One final chat. Kobe says Drew has been terrible as champion. I'm sorry. That's your opinion. Agree to disagree, Kobe. Moving on to the main events. Swamp Fight. I had my expectations super low for this. I don't hold I don't hold back my disdain or dislike for Braun Strowman. I don't find him interesting. I don't really like him. I haven't really liked him since his feud with Roman Reigns. He's really died down on me, especially his World Championship reign right now. I'm not a fan of it. I was intrigued for this match because of the prospect of Bray Wyatt going back to his roots and Braun going back to his roots and this being in the Wyatt family compound, like swamp that I've been wanting to see for a while. Props to both guys because it takes two people to tango. It takes two people to like dance and put on a good show and a good match. These guys delivered. I thought this was one of the better cinematic matches we've seen in WWE. Even though my friend Jesus thinks it was ass, but that's his opinion, not mine.
See, for me, man, the cinematic matches are a strange beast. You know.
Yeah.
Because there's part of me that like I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I liked it for what it was, but like I don't know. I have to be like, well, it's not really wrestling. I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it. Like I'm coming around to liking him, but I like them differently than I like regular wrestling. You know, like I'm not even saying that they don't like have a place. You know, especially like with the last ride, the Undertaker match. Awesome way for Taker to go out, but like there's just I don't know. It's just different for me. You know. But yeah, I mean, I think it works well with like character wrestlers, you know, like Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, especially with like the history that they've had and stuff like that, and the setting and all that. It was creepy, you know. They're both creepy. There was a lot of stuff that they could do, and they really went there. You know, it was awesome. So yeah. I mean, I give him props. It was really, really good.
Yeah, it was. So let's unpack the match, shall we? Braun arrives at the compound in his nice little pickup truck. He looks like trucker Braun Strowman, which feels like how he normally dresses and looks like on the regular. And he arrives to find Bray Wyatt in his rocking chair. And as he gets close to him, he's like, "Oh, I'm here." They look like they're about to brawl, and then Bray just vanishes. Braun walks up, he sees like the sign saying like he who come through here beware or something. Smashes the rocking chair into the sign. He's looking for Bray but cannot find him. He was like, Bray, where are you? What's going on? And then he gets struck from behind with like a shovel, and it's revealed that the old essence of the original Black Sheep Braun Strowman was wandering the swamp yards of the compound. And we had a little like moment where like Braun's like, what the fuck is going on? Where he's like staring at his like doppelganger. I popped for this part. It's the little things that get me, man. I enjoy the little things.
Oh yeah.
It was really good. I popped for that, and then he takes him out. We get blacked out. Braun Strowman wakes up and is chained up to the rocking chair inside the actual like cabin or like workshop, or what would it be called?
Yeah, but cabin or workshop. That works.
Wooded house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's there, and then that's when Bray Wyatt slowly approaches him and starts to like stalk him. And one thing here, I'm sorry, I thought it was just silly how a guy that can flip a whole fucking truck couldn't break out of these chains. One little nitpick there. I thought it's like the entire time, like, really, Braun? You can't break out of these goddamn chains? I can't break out of them, but you flipped trucks and broken cars. You've literally done the impossible, but you can't break out of these chains. Fuck, just break the wooden chair and then you're good. Right? Yeah, like, I was nitpicking that whole spot. Bray starts talking trash to Braun, tells him how, like, look what you've done. You're supposed to be my monster. You become a different monster. I'm gonna go. You didn't live up to potential. Braun's like, no matter what you do to me, I'll never change. I won't go back to doing your bidding. A lot of like gibberish back and forth. The original Bray Wyatt kind of stuff where he's talking and like 50% of what he's saying makes sense, and the other 50 just sounds cool.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So then Bray's like, hey, Braun, do you remember him? And he busts out a snake. The snake goes and strikes Braun Strowman, and somehow that teleports him back to the woods with like a bonfire in there. And he's like, what the fuck's going on? What's happening? He's a little like taken aback. That's when like I guess like stand-ins, which I guess were supposed to be like the representations of Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, because one of them were wearing like a tank top, the other one had like the work suit or whatever it's called. Yeah. So then they start attacking each other. The guy with the suit and the sheet mask gets put into the fire and literally gets lit up on fire by Braun. Braun starts cackling. He finds that humorous. Then you hear a female voice saying, Braun, come here. And then I'm over here like, who the fuck? That's got to be a Sister Abigail reference. That's what
I thought too.
And here's the thing. I think it was. So this is my theory. So Sister Abigail like showed herself in the image of Alexa Bliss to allure Braun and like let his guard down, which it totally worked, because the more she started speaking, the more you can tell that was Alexa. I'm like, and then he's like, you've always wanted us to be together. Come, follow me, Braun, come here. And as he gets close, that's when Bray goes and attacks him and strikes him. Mm-hmm. They brawl for a little bit. Braun gets the upper hand, choke slams Bray Wyatt. Looks like through like the dock, like the wooden like dock or whatever, like the little like bridge into the lake, and he actually falls into one of the boats and he starts drifting away. And this is where I first initially, okay, the match is over. But then Braun's like, what's going on? Like, he notices the boat, that Bray's not there anymore. He goes into the lake to investigate the boats. Bray Wyatt's nowhere to be found. That's when Bray comes and sneaks shots him one more time, strikes him. They go into it. They start fighting back and forth. Bray tries to go ahead and drown Braun Strowman. It looked like it worked initially, but Braun comes back up. Looks like he's barely breathing. He's struggling to breathe. Heavy breathing. He's choking. Gets out of the lake. And then they start brawling again, once more. And again, I thought this whole sequence was very well done. Even like this, the way they filmed everything and how it was shot, I thought was really good. But yeah, so they go back into the brawl. Braun kicks Bray Wyatt into the lake, and it looks like it's over. They even rolled the Extreme Rules like signature, the credit at the end. Like Braun's like, it's over. I think it's over. And then Bray Wyatt sticks his hand out, mandible claw, pulls him into the lake. Then you don't even see nothing. You just hear a struggle. It looks like they're fighting and struggling underwater. And this is where shit gets interesting. The water starts turning red, starts looking bubbly, like there's something evil. And the minute I saw red, I'm like, that's the Fiend. That's the fucking Fiend. So then that's exactly what happens. We see Bray Wyatt emerge, but he emerges as the Fiend, and that's how we close off the show. We just hear the laugh, the let me in, and this is perfect because it sets up the return of the Fiend, which we haven't seen since...
Oh, God, it's been a while.
Yeah,
a couple months at least.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time we seen the Fiend.
Before Mania.
Yeah.
I think
the last time we saw the Fiend was with John Cena. In the Funhouse. In the Funhouse.
So at Mania. Mania.
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's where. I think
you're right.
I think that's where we last saw the Fiend, which is perfect because that was in like April or March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very beginning of April.
So it was early April. We're now in late July. They held off for 3 months to bring back the Fiend. I thought that was perfect. I thought that was great. So yeah, overall I enjoyed it, and I think this sets up a rubber match between the Fiend and Braun Strowman at SummerSlam
100%.
for the Universal title, and that's how you get the title back on the Fiend.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. Because they have to have the rubber match, and the only way to really have it happen where it makes sense is if Bray Wyatt uses the Fiend this time. So
yeah, that's honestly like the only way I can see this going. So before we sign off the show, we'd like to acknowledge the chat real quick, just quickly. Let's see. Colby says the swamp fight was better than the Boneyard match. Agree or disagree, Kevin?
See, here's the thing about the cinematic matches. I feel like that the context in which they happen is important. And I feel like that this swamp match was really cool, and I liked it and it made sense. Right. But I feel like the Boneyard match was probably better, just because I don't know. It puts me in the. Oh, there goes my camera.
Oh snap! We can still hear you though, Kevin.
No, sorry about that. I just got to put it back up.
No, it's good. This is an interesting way to end the podcast. I think this is great. This is gonna be makes for some great content.
Yes.
But yeah, you were saying?
Oh shit! There we go. Sorry about that. Like when I put that stuff into context, I feel like the Boneyard match is like way more important and puts me in my feels a lot more, because it's like, well, I mean, no more Undertaker. He was around for what, like almost my whole goddamn life, like literally, and that's not to take away from how good the swamp match was.
Yeah.
It's just like that's the way that I feel about it. Is like it's because that's what I want to remember is like how the wrestling, how it really made me feel and what the impact of it was, and I think that's you can use that really well in cinematic matches to kind of tell more of a narrative in that kind of a way. Right. So,
for sure, I get you, man. It's totally reasonable. Also, too, I might be liking the swamp fight a little bit more, but that could be just recency bias, because that's like what we just saw. It's fresh in my mind, and I had to go back and watch the Boneyard match. I thought both were really good. Who am I to go ahead and compare? It's apples to oranges, man. People are gonna like one specifically more than the other. So yeah, guys, that's our Extreme Rules recap show. Let us know what you guys thought of the pay-per-view in the comment section down below on YouTube. Tweet at the show at SmackRawPod. Tweet us. You can find our Twitter handles right here on the screen or in the description at SCSVince, at KevinCrazy316. Once again, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you consume all your audio podcasts, give it a download. It helps the show greatly. Give it a 5-star review and give it a 5-star rating. Is what I meant to say, and give it a review. Yeah. And again, subscribe on YouTube, please, and thank you. And bell notification, thumbs up, all that other good jazz. Thank you guys for checking this out. Kevin, any final thing before we sign off?
Gang bang all day.
Gang bang all day. We'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for our Raw recap. Later, y'all.